Hello everybody, welcome back for another video. Hope you're all doing well and that you're all having a fantastic day. As always, likes, comments, and subscribes are appreciated. And without further ado, let's jump right into it. It says Bitcoin continues to slide as macroeconomic and geopolitical anxiety persists. At the moment, the market hasn't dropped. It's more of a Bitcoin and Ethereum are currently down by roughly around 2 to 3%. Any gains that we had over the last day have been basically wiped out, and we are once again back to where we were a good day and a half ago. It says technical analysis, Bitcoin bears keep pushing why there's risk of more losses. Once again, not entirely true. For those of you who have been here for the last 6 or 7 months, the same kind of news is playing out once again. Traditional financial markets, or nearly every market on the planet, is not currently doing well. It says U.S. stocks fell on Thursday to cap another losing week on Wall Street as investors digested a flurry of bank earnings and reeled from more red-hot CPI numbers. The S&P 500 and tech-heavy NASDAQ composite each settled at 4-week lows, recording declines of 1.2% and 2.2% respectively. The Dow Jones Industrial Average retreated from a slight advance earlier in the session to close 0.3% lower. Meanwhile, Treasury yields climbed higher, with the 10-year benchmark moving its biggest since 2.8% since December 2018. The majority of U.S. indexes finished lower for the second straight week as the situation in Eastern Europe, inflationary pressures, and anticipation for more combative measures from the Federal Reserve to tame rising price levels continues to weigh on sentiment. So it even says it around here. There's so much uncertainty. No one knows what's happening. I've discussed this with you before. Me and my friends are constantly trying to figure out not new ways or new places to put our money, but it's more of a, what else can be done in this moment. But every single market, every single thing happening on the planet is a gigantic question mark. And I think a lot of people simply don't know where to put their money to take their money out. A lot of people, we have been getting calls for a stock market crash, a recession, or a depression for a little over a year now, based on the information or the situation because of 19, also because of the movements of inflation and all these other things currently going on. So the cryptocurrency market just happens to be one of the markets that gets dragged into all of this mess as it is going on. Also in the price news, it says Bitcoin and Ethereum fail near key resistance. That's a little overstretched. I mean, Bitcoin is literally at the moment $31 above the resistance level, if you will, and 3,000 is holding very strong for Ethereum. It says XRP outperforms. XRP has gotten some really good news over the last couple of weeks, but the market is finally reacting. These are all alleged at the moment. No one knows. I mean, I personally do not know because I was not in the room. It has been alleged that apparently there is a lawsuit now against one of the current, I think, SEC heads over the idea of not only corruption, but also that allegedly one of them had a high stake in Ethereum, and he would have profited greatly if he made sure that there was a lawsuit against Ripple and XRP. So that ended up happening. And then also the other news from the court case that the SEC keeps trying to allegedly, once again, I'm not in the courtroom, trying to get documents sealed and remain sealed, and nothing can actually be shown in court. And the judge keeps saying, no, like, we need this actual evidence. What are you trying to hide? Yeah, so since then, the price has, at the moment of me making this video, it's doing a straight line upward based off of this good news. It's nice to see at least one coin actually performing properly based off of news that's actually being released out there. Ripple CEO Brad Garlinghouse is increasingly optimistic that the long-running case with the US SEC will deliver a positive result for the blockchain-based global payments company. Speaking on the main stage at the Paris Blockchain Week on Thursday, Garlinghouse told attendees on the fireside chat that Ripple's defense in the ongoing case was faring better than he expected. He said the lawsuit has gone exceedingly well and much better than I could have hoped when it began about 15 months ago. And here's a tweet, and here's them sitting next to the fireside. It's just a blue screen, but you understand. Yeah, so Ripple is heavily in the news today. I only have 2.5 tabs up here basically talking about it. And once again, I don't know if I've said this before, but they need to win this case, regardless if you like Ripple or not. And I'm still confused as to why people don't like this coin that's barely in the news and that they don't own. Because if they lose, the SEC is going to go after every other coin. I need you to understand that explicitly. And I know sometimes a lot of people, when they hear me speak logic, it sounds like Japanese to them. I'm going to say that one more time. If they lose this case, because there's more SEC news in here, the SEC is going to go after every single cryptocurrency on the market except for Bitcoin, and allegedly also except for Ethereum as well. The SEC is incredibly power hungry. We've had this news for a very long time. The people who launched the lawsuit, if I can remember correctly, were some type of an anti-corruption watchdog. Yeah, I think that's the term. And they said they've been looking at them for a very long time, and they allege that everything that the SEC has been doing is way out of bounds, especially when it comes to trying to completely regulate the cryptocurrency space, especially if we get any type of indication that these people were doing that with some type of economic gain, which I told you before that I had assumed that money was changing hands behind the scenes. There's no reason why the SEC suddenly came out of nowhere and they were attacking all these different coins. And once again, there's also other SEC news in here as well. So yeah, XRP's price is currently rising. On top of that, in one of the most popular news stories of the day, and I'm going to try and keep it neutral and leveled as much as I can, but you know that I can't do that. It says Dogecoin makes its fourth bullish daily candle as investors aim for 15 cents. Dogecoin, at least last night, a lot of the rally has slightly subsided, is doing exceedingly well based off of news that we've been getting over the last couple of hours. It says Dogecoin price analysis. Dogecoin eyes a 20% rally to ascend up to 20 cents. The initial news, or rather the backwards news, and you'll see exactly what I'm talking about because this one came out after. Robinhood CEO Vladimir Tenev took to Twitter on Thursday afternoon to explain how Dogecoin could become the future currency of the internet. In a thread of 12 posts to his nearly 200,000 followers, Tenev outlined what steps need to be taken to transform the meme coin into a usable asset for everyday payments and transactions on the internet. I do not know, and I have to keep saying that because I literally do not know. There's something happening behind the scenes with Dogecoin. I think a lot of people, very wealthy individuals, hold a vast majority of these coins because it's once again very weird that we keep seeing all these people kind of popping up now talking about how Dogecoin should be the currency of the internet, is the greatest thing in the entire world. What does this remind you of? The same exact thing that happened years ago with Bitcoin and Ethereum, where I was like, hey, isn't it a little weird that these 14 billionaires explicitly hated cryptocurrencies? They hated Bitcoin, and now they're all talking about how amazing that it is. And we started seeing that there were certain wallet addresses that held a huge majority of the Bitcoin that was actually out there. Pay attention to everything that all these people are doing. You have to understand, while a lot of people may throw the idea at you that they are simply for decentralization and or a more pure free speech is for everybody kind of world, they're in it for the money. Never, ever, ever, ever forget that. And I know some of you will forget in about 5.5 minutes, but for those of you who do not, pay attention to how these people talk and what they're talking about and what they're trying to do. It's because they're trying to continuously fill their pockets, because I'm not talking about this one person right here, but to the vast majority of billionaires out there, no one else matters to them but them. He said, can Doge truly be the future currency of the internet and the people? As we added the ability to send and receive Doge on Robinhood, I've been thinking about what that would take, I'm sure. Tanev began by drawing attention to the fact that Doge's transaction fees are 1/3 of 1 cent, already small enough to place the altcoin as a feasible e-cash frontrunner. And for those of you who are into altcoins, I know a lot of you may just be Bitcoin advocates, but I'm sure at least 70% of you hold a huge amount of altcoins. So you'd be able to tell me how many other altcoins out there also have fees this low? How many other altcoins out there have 0 fees? There are a couple of blockchains that have no fees, or the amount of dust even lower than this when it comes to a transaction fee. Doesn't it seem a little weird that all these people aren't talking about these other coins that are already faster? Because another thing that he says is that its block size and the transaction time need to be improved. Aren't there already many other coins that are already having no transaction fees and also already doing 5,000 to 10,000 transactions per second? Why aren't those coins being pushed forward? Always read between the lines. And it's not that difficult, especially with a lot of these people in the cryptocurrency industry. So this was the part 2 of the part 1. This is why I said it's a little weird that this news came out immediately after the other part took place. So Dogecoin's price was rising heavily last night, basically because of this news. For those of you who did not hear, I posted a tweet of it on Twitter. Elon Musk, I believe it was last week or the week before, announced that he had purchased, I believe, 9.2% of Twitter. Some kind of large controlling stake in the company. He announced that he wanted to be on the board of Twitter, which was then retracted about a day after. I assume somebody told him, and I told you that this was simply for economic purposes. This has nothing to do with Elon Musk trying to make the world a better place. After he acquired that huge stake in Twitter, last night, he announced that he wants 100% of Twitter. He said he wants to take over the entire thing. And from what I've read and what I've gathered from a bunch of different articles around the internet and put them all together, he allegedly said, I want a 100% stake of Twitter. Sell the entire thing to me. I forgot the exact number. It was something in the billions. And allegedly, he said, if you don't sell it to me, I'm going to sell my 9% stake of the company and basically flood the market with my stock. It's basically a hostile takeover, and it's what babies do when they want attention. I'm not sure why so many people, if you can tell me, and I really, let me know. I just woke up, so sorry if I still sound a bit groggy. I don't understand why people are so obsessed with Elon Musk. Part of the news as well that was going on, like it even says it right here, news of Elon Musk's bid to buy Twitter has the tech and crypto world in an uproar, many viewing it as a move for free speech, which it's not, and I'm going to tell you why, with others seeing it as a billionaire taking over a company-run public square. For those of you who don't know, two of the big things that Elon Musk has spoken about and also people keep asking him for is to reinstate the Twitter of the previous president of the United States. And I'm pretty sure he would do so because it means absolutely nothing to him. You are literally telling this man, we as a community will let you do this if you just bring back one person's Twitter. It means nothing to him. It is a Twitter. It is one account. Think of it. It's so weird. And even the idea that he would once again be able to allow complete free speech on the platform. I don't think people really understand anything at this point. Why people are so easy to give Elon Musk so much power. Do you remember the news? You must remember the news that we had. I'm pretty sure it was sometime 2021, 2020. I don't remember. There's too much going on all the time. Where we had news that allegedly, once again, Elon Musk had gone to speak to a bunch of people from, I believe it was Blockstream, or some of the people who are in charge of announcing updates for Bitcoin's code. And basically apparently told them, hey, I want control over this entire operation. And they looked at him and were like, no, that's not how this works. And then the news that we got a couple of days later is that once again, allegedly, he went to the Dogecoin team and was like, hey, I want control over this whole operation. And they basically all gave him thumbs up. And then he took control over Dogecoin. This is why we keep getting news about Dogecoin integration into Tesla and Dogecoin integration into all the satellites and all these other things. There's so much more that I want to say, but this is cryptocurrency news, so I'm going to try and continue. Someone who is not impressed with the Tesla CEO's plans for Twitter is the co-creator of Dogecoin. He said, I think it takes some pretty impressive mental gymnastics to associate any type of freedom with the richest man in the world initiating a hostile takeover and forcing one of the largest public social media platforms to go private. A lot of people never agree with Jackson Palmer, and I don't understand why. A lot of what he says is actually quite intelligent. I think a lot of people don't like him because he left the cryptocurrency community, because he said it was full of crazy people, which it actually is. If you're in the cryptocurrency space, you know what's going on. You know, a lot of this space is really just like, what's the word? People who are either tribal or who attack other people for no good reason. It's a very strange community, this cryptocurrency space, where people demand freedom and free speech, but they want to hinder it from other people actually having the same exact rights. So this is literally the only reason why Dogecoin shot up in price. It was because Elon Musk announced he's trying to do a hostile takeover of the entire company. I actually hope that this doesn't happen, because it's basically just going to become a place for Elon Musk supporters to be able to rant and rave about everything that they think that's terrible. Elon Musk does not care about you. Elon Musk is not trying to take over and spend, I think it was $64 or $43 billion, because he wants you to have freedom. There's some type of heavy economic incentive for him to get into this space, for him to want to acquire this entire company. He's not going to give up a fraction of his wealth because the former president wants his Twitter back, and because you want to be able to say and do whatever you want on Twitter. He does not care about you. And the quicker you understand that, the better the cryptocurrency space will be. This is why this is such a problem. I said this years ago as well. Bitcoin's price was moving freely on its own. And then at some point when Musk announced that he was getting into the cryptocurrency Bitcoin space, Bitcoin's price was only moving based off of what Elon Musk said. Do you remember this? You must remember this. Everything he said caused Bitcoin's price to move. Do you remember when he said you can now buy a Tesla with Bitcoin, and we went up by around 12% that day? A couple of months later, when no one was buying any Teslas with Bitcoin, he announced that they were taking, think of that, the power that one man has to say we are no longer accepting a digital currency for our cars, and then the price of that asset falls. So, yeah, that's the Elon Musk. Yeah, okay, $43 billion. Dogecoin popped up. Much of the conversation, I only spectate because I'm not trying to rant and rave on Twitter. But I don't understand this constant call for freedom by people in the cryptocurrency space. But you would give all of your power once again to people who control the world. There is no freedom if you give all the power to 5 individuals. It doesn't make any sense. Why are there not calls to make Twitter decentralized, or to make it have nodes, or to make sure that you can say and do whatever you want on the platform, or simply create a brand new platform where all these things are possible? It's not difficult. We live in the age of the internet. Someone else can create another platform where you can say and do and what and see whatever you want in a decentralized manner. Is definitely possible. It's actual mental gymnastics. I'm going to move on, but for the love of actual goodness, I don't get why people are so obsessed with this man who's just, if you don't know what the term, I've said it multiple times, if you don't know what the term megalomaniac is, please go look it up. Right. So I believe, if I'm not mistaken, yeah, that's all of the price news. Prices are up, down, basically where we were about a day and some change ago. Let's see what happens on the weekend. As of now, it appears that we are consistently tethered to the stock market and other traditional markets. If we get any indication that the situation in Europe eases, or that the Fed just finally raises a rate and leaves it there, as opposed to constantly trying to talk every single week about the fact that they're thinking about maybe raising a rate. I think we'd see a much healthier, not only cryptocurrency market, but actual financial market as well, because basically everyone's pulling their money out because of uncertainty. Yeah, that's news. And let's move on. Here's the other SEC news. Non-profit blockchain advocacy group Coin Center has called the SEC's proposal of a redefinition of the word exchange an unconstitutional overreach. Yes, the SEC made a recent proposal, and within this long proposal, if you had read the entire thing, somewhere in the middle, they're trying to change the term, what it means to be a cryptocurrency exchange, to basically anyone who writes code that may look like something that might become an exchange. The lobby group made the comments in a written response to the SEC's March 18th amendments regarding the definition of an exchange, which details changing the meaning of exchange from a system that brings together the orders of a security to one that brings together buyers and sellers, basically meaning any place in the cryptocurrency space where you buy or sell would be a cryptocurrency exchange. Why would they be doing this? Because they're power hungry and they're trying to get control of as much of the cryptocurrency space as they possibly can. You might remember about a good year and some change ago when we had an enormous amount of decentralized exchanges begin to pop up, regardless of what chain they were on. The US SEC came forward and basically hinted quite heavily and said, if you are using or have created a decentralized exchange, you must register with us. You are a cryptocurrency exchange, and therefore, as we have and are trying to have power over everything, you must register with us. I think 2 decentralized exchanges actually registered with the US SEC. And people were like, oh, wait, you're not actually decentralized because you have an office and there's only one computer that's controlling you? Wow, cool, got it. The other decentralized exchanges, as they are decentralized and do not have a head of the dragon, did not and essentially could not come forward. Here's the amendment that they proposed. Many people would read over this, but a lot of people read through it and said, hey, something here seems wrong. Bringing together orders, which are things, is very different to bringing together people, and Coin Center says the latter is tantamount to coercion. The rule change suggests that communication protocol systems are also exchanges which may bring in programmers who merely share code for a crypto trade. If the proposal becomes an SEC rule, decentralized exchanges such as Uniswap and PancakeSwap would all be on notice that the commission wants them to register as exchanges, which they have already been slightly put on notice because the SEC wants control. I don't understand why the SEC has so much power. I really do not understand who gave them the baton and why they've glued it to their hands to make sure that they try to control everything within the cryptocurrency space. A lot of you weren't here in 2014, 2015, even 2013. I used to read so many articles about the idea of the cat being out of the bag and all these other really interesting things. The idea was back then a lot of people were trying to make protocols and proposals and other things that were built on Bitcoin or for Bitcoin. And a lot of these things were centralized. There was someone in their garage trying to build something that they put together. And then at some point, someone came forward and were like, hey, that's illegal. You can't do that, even though it shouldn't have been illegal or whatever, regardless. And those things got shut down. The idea was, from these articles that I was reading, is that once somebody tells you you can't write, here's a very simplified form, that you can't write A, B, and C, and it's written down in law, you simply go, okay, you write A, B, and D. And then they go, hey, you can't write A, B, and D. So you go, okay. You go 1, 2, 3, A, B, C, X, Y, Z, but you keep continuing on, and eventually you've changed it so much there's no rule definition that it actually falls within. And this is why we have decentralized exchanges right now. The constant overreach by a number of it's one thing to want to tax something that eventually swings back into a fiat currency. Understandable, kind of. It's another thing to say that any transaction that's happening in this currency that you did not create and that you do not have control over is also taxable every single movement of those coins. Every single time you send coins to a friend or your friend sends coins to you, that's a taxable event. It's really funny how you can take out $500 from your bank account, hand it to someone else, some random person in the street, and that is no longer a taxable event. So, if this rule change does happen, we will see a lot of cryptocurrency decentralized exchanges begin to morph once again into a brand new form with probably even more nodes, more people who are controlling the network as opposed to maybe just 50 or 100 like we currently have right now. This is only happening because the SEC understands that they are no longer relevant. I'm not saying that as a fist pump in the air saying, yeah, cryptocurrency decentralization. It's more of a, if code runs the world, we do not need regulation because it is embedded already inside of the code. I could elaborate a lot more, but I'm not really in the mood to. It's basically the idea that if you say that something is wrong and it's inside the code, or someone should not be doing this, and we see that they have done this and it's written inside of the code or the smart contract, well, therefore it is illegal. You can't keep changing the rules on paper to say that it fits you in that one instance, and this is what the SEC is constantly doing. If the SEC does indeed lose this lawsuit against Ripple, they will probably lose about a good 99% of their prominence within the cryptocurrency space. They're trying to do whatever they can to make sure that now they can power grab as much as they possibly can if they do lose the lawsuit. If they win the lawsuit, then they're going to try and sweep out every single other coin, which is great for Bitcoin, but terrible for the other 99% of the people who are actually in the market. We need anti-corruption watchdogs, and we need people like, I've never even heard of Coin Center, but we need people like them to kind of say, hey, that doesn't sound right. You can't simply redefine a word in a dictionary to make it better for you so that you can actually control it. So that's the US SEC news. A lot of anti-corruption people looking over their shoulders kinds of news. And I'm glad that it's happening because clearly something is wrong with all of this. Anyway, right. Let's move on. Also in very popular news, and I'm not sure why this news was popular. We're going to see it in a second. The CEO of e-commerce giant Amazon is optimistic about crypto and NFTs. He says that over time, crypto will become bigger and NFTs will continue to grow very significantly. Now wait for the rest of it. Amazon CEO Andy Jassy talked about cryptocurrency and NFTs in an interview with CNBC on Thursday. Jassy replaced Bezos as president of Amazon last July. He previously led Amazon Web Services. Regarding whether Amazon would accept cryptocurrencies for payments of products on its platform, the CEO affirmed, "We're not probably close to adding crypto as a payment mechanism in our retail business." However, he noted, "I do believe that over time you'll see crypto become bigger." Commenting on whether he owns any cryptocurrency, the Amazon executive disclosed, "I don't have Bitcoin myself." When asked whether Amazon could one day sell NFTs, he said, "I think it's possible down the road on the platform." While revealing that he does not own any NFTs, the Amazon boss said, "I expect that NFTs will continue to grow very significantly." The reason this should not have been major news, and was major news, is because the CEO of Amazon, I'm telling you, anytime that someone whispers the word crypto or NFTs, it ends up making news, especially if they are a mega billionaire, trillionaire, zillionaire like this guy. So the news is there was speculation for a while that Amazon was going to start listing cryptocurrencies on their platform as a form of payment. The fact that he said no, but he sees crypto becoming bigger, made the news. People were asking him, "Are you into NFTs?" He said no, but he thinks that NFTs will grow significantly in the future. So the news is Amazon's not adding crypto, and they have no current plans to add NFTs to their platform. One of the most popular news stories of the day. Like literally people were completely going insane. A lot of it has to do with speculation, kind of like is he giving us like a wink? Is he telling us in the future that he's going to add these things? Pay attention to all the stuff that we do have. Why do people forget so quickly? Have you forgotten all the other integration on every other platform that we've also been to? Like everyone keeps looking for the next billionaire for affirmation in their life. Why do you keep doing this? Why are you so obsessed with praising these rich people and trying to say, well, if they do it, then crypto has some sort of validity? Crypto is already valid. We are being accumulated by banks and companies and hedge funds, and everyone on the planet knows about crypto. We do not need, the same exact way we do not need a Bitcoin ETF in the United States, we do not need Amazon to accept cryptocurrencies. As much as I do not care for Facebook and Instagram, the idea of even them integrating cryptocurrencies, which they have said they're going to do, and that they're going to be integrating NFTs, which they said they are going to do, has kind of become old news. Everyone hears some amazing news and everybody always wants more. And it's like, we already have an incredibly large amount of good news in the cryptocurrency space every single day. Our adoption rate is completely out of control. It's just simply that prices aren't currently reflecting that. And I think people go, well, then we need more to pump up the volume for it. We don't need Amazon. We have, don't forget the hundreds of other companies who are also accepting cryptocurrencies as a means of payment. I made a video in 2019 or something like that. I think it was on the other channel. Like, what can you buy? Or maybe it was this channel. Like, what can you buy with Bitcoin? And you kind of had to jump through some hoops, but you could pay for everything in Bitcoin. Now, 3.5 something years later, you can literally buy everything with crypto, multiple cryptocurrencies. It's no longer even a discussion of only with Bitcoin. A lot of websites now have Ethereum, they have Litecoin, they have Dogecoin, they have Shiba Inu. And the list kind of goes on. So at some point, it could be 5 years from now, Amazon will add crypto as a payment option. It's not now, but sometime in the future, they're probably going to have a section where you can actually mint your own and or buy your own NFTs on the platform. Just not now. Anyway, that's the Amazon news. I only had 2 tabs open. Everyone was going crazy over as the title says, Amazon CEO praises NFTs and crypto. Rolling my eyes. Alrighty, let's move on. And in unsurprising news, MicroStrategy CEO, his name is Michael Saylor, has proclaimed to shareholders of his company that his firm intends to vigorously pursue its reserve asset strategy to buy and hold even more Bitcoin. Saylor's publicly traded company is the largest single wallet holder of Bitcoin in the world. They have 129,218 Bitcoin, just one company. Those coins are currently valued at around $5.1 billion. MicroStrategy bought 4,197 more coins on the 5th of April. By comparison, Tesla, MicroStrategy's runner-up in the holding race, I think that's actually a lie. No, okay. It's not, but I'll tell you when it's not going to be. Tesla currently owns 43,200 Bitcoin valued at $1.7 billion. The reason why this isn't a lie is because I think the Luna Terra Foundation is 100 Bitcoin behind Tesla right now. That's why it's really interesting. That's why I always wonder why that's not myself, why that's not more in the news, because they are going to be the second largest holder of Bitcoin on the planet as well. Just Terra Luna. And I think by the actual numbers, I think they're 100 Bitcoin behind Tesla. In MicroStrategy's 2022 proxy statement that was filed with the US SEC on the 14th of April, Saylor praised his company's ongoing success in being early to add Bitcoin to its treasury and add value for customers and shareholders. MicroStrategy only paid about $3.9 billion for Bitcoin in its treasury, translating to a paper profit of $1.2 billion. And then he talked more about how rich they were and all the stuff that they're trying to buy. So, like I said, surprising news? No, not really. We know that they planned on buying more Bitcoin. All these companies, if they had a time machine, they would literally just be buying up every single bit of Bitcoin that they probably could. But that would also make for another like really good timeline movie, because does anyone know what happens to the value of something when you own all of it? It's not a riddle, but it's kind of a riddle. It has no value. If you own all the diamonds and no one else owns any diamonds, diamonds have no value. It has to have value because other people have some of it and they can see the value in it as well. They have to be able to be in the market to know that this does have, anyway. Yeah, so the news is MicroStrategy is planning on buying more Bitcoin. Is anyone surprised? If you are surprised at this point, go drink some tea or something, because I don't know what you're supposed to be doing with yourself. But yeah, this was also quite popular news because, you know, once again, water's wet and oxygen. Anyway, that's the MicroStrategy news. And yeah, let's move on. As always, a very special thank you to my Patreon supporters: GBU Wally, Bubble Mode, How's Life Austin, Auspicious Agile and Blockchain, Jamie Saad, Blockchain Simplified, and Let's Move On, Empire Queen, Fud, Wiser, Roman, Gaba, Bitcoin, Ben Arachno, Dave, Tony, Ambrosi, The Dealer's Den, Captain Something in the Z-Way Lay, Mobarazi, VB Nerd 21, Miguel Grollet, Lauren De Silva, Quoted, Biddy, Troy, All Good, Space Case, Need a Miracle, Paternoster, Navarro Williams, Utopia 569, Moonman High, XRP, Martin Stoyo, Nostromo, John Sarson, The Animal Reader, Bibliophobia, Todd, Mullis, Adam, Graysick, Wise, Night Owl, 242 to the World, Bankroll Network, Crypto Artist, Cody 3D, Setsuna, Richie Rich, I, Paxis, Nick Man, Gialavori, Jim Garner, Jeremy Fox, Minting Coins, Yes to Crypto, Bodie McBoatface, Anytime Fitness, Monks, Corner Staff, Bake Me a Cake, Tigger, Machonisa, On Crypto with Lionel, and Creole and Michelle URL. Thank you all very, very much for your continued support. Thank you to all the new Patreon members. Hello to you out there. Thank you to everyone who is a member of the channel, who is a clicker of affiliate links. Everyone out there, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. At the Memento, Bitcoin is currently at $40,070. It's down by 2%, 24 hours, but once again, it's exactly where we just were before. We popped up here and moved right back down to where we were. Ethereum is at $3,024, still above 3,000, which makes it a good day. XRP is currently up by 4.9%. You can see the straight movement upward. I assume during the day, if Bitcoin and Ethereum start to move down, XRP will basically follow suit. But it's nice to see any coin having some type of positive momentum off of good news. Hint, hint, Bitcoin. Dogecoin is up by 3.64%, basically on the back of the news of the hostile takeover. Anything else crazy going on? Lumens is up by 4%. Sure, why not? For those of you who weren't here during the fiascos of 2018, 2019, 2020, every single time, it's kind of like legend at this point. Every time that XRP moves up, Lumens tries to do the exact same thing. Did anyone forget as well? Remember when I told you that this was going to happen and I was like, this is clearly going to be their downfall. Remember when they had that, it wasn't a press conference. It was some type of event, like a conference. They were standing on stage and they basically stood on stage telling everyone that they were burning a huge portion of Lumens. And it was in a bid, they said, to try and lower their controlling supply, but they were trying to like really boost up the price. And I was like, no one's using Lumens. And everyone was like, Lumens is the best coin ever. They're going to be using it more than XRP. Anything else? I told you so many of these coins are garbage. I don't know why people really go so hard to try and make it seem like, if you know that a coin is garbage, don't get into it. I don't understand. Stop falling for false promises. It's so crazy. I don't understand how this space works, why it's so easy to like grasp people, just lie to them. Have YouTube channels where you tell these people this coin is going to 95x. You remember those three guys who were standing in a garage with three sports cars behind them, riding on that it wasn't a chalkboard, like that white marker board? And they were like, oh man, dude, my friend told me this coin is going to 35,000x. And people were buying the coins that they were buying. And then that YouTube channel disappeared and people were like, I don't know how I lost money. Anything else up? EOS is up by 1%. Doesn't really make any sense, but good job, EOS. Oh no, we had EOS news yesterday. Was it yesterday? There was some kind of EOS rebranding. Was it Avalanche? I don't remember. 4 coins were joining together to make EOS better or something. I don't remember what exactly what it was. I do hope that you've all enjoyed. I do hope that you all are having, is it Friday? Have a good Friday, everybody. Enjoy your Friday. Hopefully some of you have off. If you don't have off, I was going to say something wrong. Never mind. I was going to, nothing. I hope your work day goes quickly. I was going to try and figure out a way for you to get out of work early, but, you know, might not be able to say that. I do hope you've all enjoyed. I do hope that you all are having a great day, a great morning, a great afternoon, a great evening. Wherever you are, wherever you might be, I do hope it's absolutely fantastic. Thank you all once again for watching, listening, and or supporting, and I will most certainly be talking to you all soon. See you.